Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Steve's got the day off and so I'm filling in again. As always, thanks for your support. I think I got all my camera issues fixed and worked out. I believe so. And as always, we appreciate your feedback. Today, actually this whole week, I'm going to be talking about off and on transportation, our transportation week. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, I've already done a video on riding a motorcycle here, and I'm actually dressed up for it because I'm going to do a motorcycle ride tonight. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Look, it takes a certain kind of person and fortitude to ride during the day. It's beyond your expectations of anything you've ever ridden. And I've just talked to recently somebody who just started riding this year, and he's loving it. He's doing a great job. He's being safe. He's going slow. And then you have people like me and some other people I've known who've been riding for decades and decades and decades and absolutely loves riding here. Love riding here, you know, from day to day. I want to say I'm probably a daily rider. I don't go far enough though, and that's what I'm looking to solve the next couple of months, next couple of weeks for sure. And so I wanted to talk about nighttime riding. Nighttime riding is a whole different beast here. You know, you think daytime riding is wild and crazy. Nighttime riding, you have to be on your AAA game. And I mean that for sure. I was talking to one of my friends, her husband rides at night and during the day. And her comment was, and it was a very interesting comment, and I noted it, was that there's less people on the road. That's very true. There's less people on the road riding at night. The other thing on riding at night that you have to be careful of, and there are more people doing it, is that for some crazy reason, I don't know where they came up with this idea, and I've talked to several Filipinos that believe this, that there's a belief that if you turn off your lights, you will save gas. And I have no words for that belief. It's, again, if you grow up, I've come to the conclusion with some of the riding styles here is that if you've grown up riding that way, you think riding that way is okay, whether it be, on the sidewalk or going the wrong way down the road, or if you grew up that way thinking that's okay, that's going to be okay to you as an adult. And I see it every day. And what you have to do, and I think that even Gary in his video, the builder, talked about it, is that once you kind of get into a groove of it, you kind of go into the flow. Now, I've had people say that my writing makes them nervous, and I appreciate that, and I take it at heart, and I go to slow down. And then Justin actually made a comment too about writing here. And his thinking and comment is that normally you're writing here, especially during the day, you're going slow. So there is ability to almost basically step off your bike and, go about your day. I know that one of my friends, he got hit by a police officer, and he literally, I think that the police officer pulled out in front of him. The police officer admitted guilt and actually had his bike fixed. However, he basically just stood up and walked off the bike, thank goodness. And I hope that all, let's knock wood, that all wrecks are like that. And so tonight I'm going to give you privy. I'm going to put the camera on the bike, and we're going to ride at night and give you a little taste of what it's like riding here. I have mixed feelings on it. I like to do it. However, I know that, again, I don't drink. So there's never a moment, if I occasionally have a sip of beer or two or a sip of whiskey, but I never drive. And so, but I know that other people do. And I know that oftentimes it's the other person we have to look out for. And with that in mind, let's get right into it. Okay, the first thing about driving at night you have to remember is that people are going to do the same thing during night as they do during the day. They will come up and cut in front of you during nighttime. They will not use their blinker at nighttime. They'll walk in front of you in the street at nighttime, just like they will in the day. You'll notice that a lot. And the real big rule, number one, is wear your protective gear. wear your proper gear. I always wear a vest. I always wear a certain jacket, always a helmet and gloves during the day or night, really. You have to here. And so as we get started on this, you'll see that, again, like I said, people will pull in front of you. There'll also be cars parked on the side of the road, just stopped at nighttime. Some will have their blinkers on, like that guy right there. But you'll see coming up here a jeepney who's parked in the lane with no lights on. And you just have to look out for that and be careful. The second big rule, and this one is really big, and that's just slow down. Slow down. And that's probably a good rule for, daytime or nighttime here in the Philippines. And look ahead. That person doesn't even have any lights on, which I think leads us to our next rule that's going to pop up here soon. You really got to be on the lookout for that, because you just basically have to assume that there's somebody in front of you and they don't have their lights on. And there's like a trike right there. He's got one light, so I'm grateful for that. I always use my blinkers, day or night, but at night in particular. And again, you'll see it coming up here on the right. There's people. There's a lot going on the side of the roads. There's a gas station right there, and you just have to be always on the lookout. And that guy has got green lights. And like I said earlier, just assume someone is in front of you with no lights. That's a horrible assumption. However, you just have to assume that. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, that for some reason there's a true belief that if you don't turn on your lights, you get better gas mileage, which I just don't know where that belief came from. And, I'm not going to argue with it. Like I said, if you grew up with it, if you grew up believing that, you're going to think that. So, which will lead to my next rule, which will pop up here in a little bit, but I'll get ahead of myself here. And look how people bunch together. You really just gotta, look ahead. And at nighttime, it's worse because people coming the opposite direction will definitely pull in front of you. And then the next rule that I really want to talk about is that I ride in the middle. I ride really on the edge of the lane. And that way, if there's somebody to the left, somebody to the right, I have plenty of time to either go one way or another way. Like right here, I try to ride in the middle as much as I can. And again, this is our highway. Believe it or not, this is in front of the house. And they consider this a highway. It's crazy the way people drive on this small road. But you really just have to be on your A game. And if you ride in the middle, you really can respond either one way or the other. So that's been a little peek at nighttime driving. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you were able to see. Some of it was so dark that I just didn't put it up here. Well, I hope you enjoyed the ride, and I hope that you got a chance to see what nighttime driving here is like. And that if you choose to do it, you better be on your AA, AAA game. This has been Rich in the Philippines. We'll see you next time, either in a trike or on a bus or on a jeepney. Thanks for watching.